Matt, thank you. Anchorage is downtown near the scene of the terrorism where the rescue efforts are ongoing. Ann, what's going on down there now?
Katie, as you know, there is a mass going on now outside and around the areas of the Twin Towers. People have been working all night digging, 12-hour shifts in some cases for the fire department, for the police forces. We've seen them come out exhausted. Well, there have been some reports which have brought a lot of happiness to the people who have been working all so hard all night. Some reports that some people have been rescued alive, and there are reports that 5 or 6 firefighters have been pulled alive this morning, as well as 2 Port Authority police officers. We were seeking confirmation of this information, and so we found Battalion Chief Kevin Burns to ask him about this information just a few moments ago. Part of what you said, we have heard a report that there have been people found alive in this building. What can you confirm?
One person is confirmed so far.
Do you know who it was? Was it a rescue person, a person who worked in the building?
We have no idea at this time. They were not able to identify whether or not it was a rescue worker or a civilian.
Have you heard the condition of the person who was found alive?
The person is alive.
Do we know anything about injuries?
This time I have no idea.
So we don't know how critically or where he was rushed or she was rushed?
No, not at this time.
Okay. What are you doing now to get more people out, and are you still getting cell phone calls from under the rubble?
Not that I know of at this time.
Not that you know of at this time? But we understood from this morning that there were some cell phone calls being received. You cannot confirm that?
We were receiving cell phone calls. We could not determine whether or not they were bogus or not.
Bogus or not? So they're ISIS. You're tracking those down. What are you doing now to dig people out?
We have K9 units in there. We have units in there trying to find out people in the voids that are in there.
How many people do you have digging?
We have, I can't tell you.
Hundreds of people digging?
Of course.
Police and fire?
Correct.
How far are they able to get in there with all the debris? Is there concern of collapse?
There's always concern of collapse. How far they can get in at this moment, I can't tell you.
Hand tools with their hands?
Anything we can do.
I understand you also have cranes, however, donated from the Port Authority, that you're actually lifting things with cranes. Is that true?
Correct.
How many cranes do you have operating?
There's a multitude of cranes working.
What's pushing these guys on? What's pushing all of these people who are working so hard for so many hours on? Is there a strong belief that people will still be alive under all that rubble?
There's always hope. I have to go now. Thank you.
Your name, please?
Chief Burns.
What's your first name?
That was Battalion Chief Kevin Burns. That was Battalion Chief Kevin Burns saying that there's always hope. That is going to now obviously encourage people even more who have come down here. And by the way, we should say that there are plenty of volunteers. We spoke to one who came down yesterday at 10 o'clock. He has not left. They've been building stretchers out of wood. They've been mobilizing, moving these stretchers around. And also, Katie, this is an interesting fact, they've gone into some of these federal buildings all night last night. They were going into these different buildings searching for medical supplies. That's the level of desperation, searching for any medical supplies that they could bring out to create the triage units that they're still setting up here in hopes that more people will be found alive under all of this rubble. Katie, back to you.
All right, Ann, thank you very much. David Bloom is also near the scene. David, tell me what is going on from your vantage point.
Well, what we're told, Katie, is that they've rescued some firefighters. We don't know how many. We're live right now on the Today Show. Please, sir, if you could just come over here for just a minute. Thank you very much. Just tell me what happened.
I just went up by the World Trade Center to see exactly what happened, and in the process, I saw a lot of people digging out, trying to, get somebody, like they're digging out people out of the rubble, and eventually, when we looked around, there was a guy on a gurney, and they wanted help, wanted us to form a line to get him out so that he could get to the ambulance. And I just got in the line and helped get him out. And according to one of the firefighters, he was buried for around 9 hours.
Now, where exactly was this?
According to what I remember of the World Trade Center, it was just the steps leading up to where they said it was a courtyard. I think that's right where he was.
And do you know whether this firefighter is one of several who've been rescued this morning? That's what we're hearing.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just noticed that one guy, and I was just happy to see that they got one person out.
And what sort of shape was he in?
He wasn't in a bad shape. He wasn't really in a bad shape.
Was he talking?
No, he didn't talk, but he raised his hand. But that was a good sign.
Okay, tell me your name.
Courtney.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
So, Katie, that's the latest in terms of the rescues that are going right now here in Lower Manhattan.
All right, David Bloom. David, thank you very much. Now with more.